Nice job, Jack. All right, so Jamie Chirio. All right, they're just waiting for Jamie to clap. So Jamie asked me, why am I on this panel? He said, there are integrity partners, and there's some that are a heck of a lot closer to me than I am. Why am I on the panel? And I didn't answer him. So now what I'm gonna do in front of y'all is ask him why he thinks he's on the panel and see if he gets it right. It's my answer. I mean, it's only like, doesn't mean I'm right, but I wanna know, why do you think you're on this panel?
Fair enough. My name's Jamie. I'm from Albany, Oregon, 28. Grateful to be here with this group. It's a great question, and I kind of racked my brain on it for a long time, but I think it's just, my wife told me before I came up here she had to care about people. I think that's the number one thing. I spend a lot of individual time with people, and I try my best to lead from the front. I try to sell and lead by example, and I just try my best not to break trust with people.
We were doing a meeting, and we were talking about what people can do. We talked about you helping more families personally. And like, we have that conversation with people all the time. Like, hey dude, you're trying to grow a business. If you help more families, to your point, they're gonna believe more in you, right? Because they're watching you. And then you're gonna have money to do the things you need to do. So it all comes full circle, right? And Jamie did what most people don't do. He's like, all right, I'm already helping quite a few. I'll go help more. You want me to do that? I'll go help more. Like, that's no problem. And then start working more, not that you weren't working, get him, because a lot of us, and don't take this wrong, we play businessman and businesswoman. We sit in our office. And I'm like, dude, what do you do all day long? I'm trying to figure out what happens in this magical office. Like, you recruit people, they go sell life insurance on their own. Like, what are you doing over there all day long? And I try not to sound condescending, but it is like, what do you do? I don't understand what's happening in there. But Jamie, you took the bull by the horns and said, I'll do that differently. I'll do this differently. I'll do that differently. And stop focusing so much time on all these awesome graphics and all the things you were doing, which are awesome, by the way. And also, I'm like, you need to build your business.
I'll never forget last year at convention, there was a senior sales manager meeting, and it was the day after I'd actually spoke at the convention, and I felt like I was the man. And then I was actually a few families short of being senior sales manager, and Shawn walked in the room, and it's like he sniffed it out, like, you shouldn't be in this room. And he looked right at me and said, you're not working hard enough. And I was a little offended, to be completely honest, but it put a chip on my shoulder for the whole last year, and I said, nobody's gonna outwork me.
That's why you're here. No, seriously, that's why you're here. So tell us what that work ethic has done for you this past year.
I mean, it's changed everything. I think everybody has different disciplines that they struggle with in their life. There's so many that I struggle with still today, but for whatever reason, some switch flipped for me when it came to business, and for the first time in my life, I've never worked this hard before. It was like a whole different level came out of me. Previously, I had built big businesses in network marketing and direct sales. I'd gotten to a point where, I was making money, but a bunch of other people weren't making money, so I could kind of coast and watch those businesses kind of go by the wayside, jumped into a couple different businesses, digital marketing. That's kind of how, we got involved here. And I got into a mindset of, I'm gonna outsource everything, and I'm going to manage the people doing the work, and I'm gonna take my spread as the deal maker, the middleman, and run this digital marketing business. So I didn't really feel like I was supposed to be in the trenches anymore. I did my trench work back in the beginning of my entrepreneurial journey and didn't really want to go back. And then I came here in a really bad financial situation. I had to file bankruptcy in 2017. I had my cool BMW repossessed. I came from a really tough position and was just coming out and starting to breathe. And then I got introduced to this business by Grady Polson, and he showed me how to help families. And the same idea of, once I went out there and had that light bulb go off, I said, how many times can I do this in a week? And it just became a lot of fun for me. And I mean, when you have your first death claim, I just had one recently, husband and wife. I remember sitting down with them, perfectly healthy and nothing wrong with them. Husband passed first week of January, wife passed third week of January, renal failure and I think heart failure, the two, and both were perfectly healthy. I had to call the daughter to make sure, because it was written less than a year ago. And I mean, it was a big deal. So for me, I really believe in this business. Grady's dad, Glenn Polson, he's one of my first mentors. He's been in the insurance industry forever. He's a legend. And he told me, Jamie, welcome to the most honorable profession on the planet. It's the end of everybody's life. Everybody's reaching out a hand saying, I need this, I need that. You're the only person reaching back with a check. And it was powerful, and I've taken that very seriously.
Wow. That's why he's on the panel. Yeah. All right. Jamie, from a recruiting standpoint, you recruit all day, every day. You never let up. What's your most effective mode of recruiting?
Warm market.
Warm market.
I love cold market. My background's in digital marketing. I've helped create all kinds of systems for cold market, but every cold market recruit turns into my warm market because at the end of the day, they have a warm market that I want to meet. So my philosophy is I want to help you make money as quickly as possible so that you trust me and you'll introduce me to your friends.
See, a lot of these people, so I don't have the background you have. Y'all built these, but he hit the nail on the head because I was doing this previous to another company, and my issue was, I was like making a few bucks getting by, but most people we worked with weren't making any money. And what broke my heart was they would come to me and go, I'm not going to work with you anymore, but I want to work with you. I just can't work here. And I'm like, well, I work here. And they're like, well, we just can't. We can't get ahead. Our comp's really low. We got this, we got that. We're not making any money. And I felt really heartbroken. I mean, I think by the time I made a move, you were only a few people left. Like it was just. And then I was like, what if I could find something else where we could all make money together? And it's now that you have that, and you have the ability here. Because people say, well, I was in a business with people before, and it didn't work. What should I tell them? Tell them you're sorry. And hey, I got something over here that if you want to go help some families, it can be one heck of a business opportunity. But when you listen to what everybody said today, you listen to Eric talk about what he did previously, what he did warm market-wise, how he's built his business, he up and moved, traveled, put his money back in. Ryan talked about what he's doing. Again, it was warm market. It is recruiting. They both helped a bunch of families. Isaiah helped a ton of families. Was cheap, stopped being cheap. Josh and Alondra poured out about her family, about what she changed, about what they thought, how hard a journey it was, how broke y'all were. See, these people didn't walk in here with a bunch of money. I don't know that, you know what I mean? I can guarantee that there might be one person on the stage with a good financial position. If I take Ruggiero off, there's none. I mean, I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be like so you were fighting to stay alive. They're not unique. They're not unlike you. When you listen to Dominique was just trying to change some things in his life, but you have to know the people, right? You have to know. And I didn't know Jamie that well, so I pushed to see how he pushed. I watched him, but if it got too much, I would have pulled back. Because why am I going to try to mess up what we're doing here? But I care too much not to help. And I'm like, he's talented as hell. Why isn't he not doing more? I'm just trying to figure the whole thing out. You listen to Gavin talk about the accountability factor, and Shawn talk about the myriad of resources we have with integrity, and how many different lines we're involved with now, and what you can do on the recruiting side and comp. We have people that start here and see the comp and think that's how I'm gonna do nothing and make a bunch of money. That doesn't work. You know how much money we weren't making as a company for years? And we want to be able to pay it forward. And your Jack talk about difficult decisions when you're managing staff, and familiarity breeds contempt and becoming everybody's best friend, and it makes it hard. And even now I go like, why not? Well, I was trying. No, I know you're trying to look out for him. He helps a ton of families, leads people, they watch him, that's why they're in business with him. And then you come from back. Thank you for sharing, by the way. By the way, I trust people that share. But you don't have to try to figure it out. It's like, I made it to my BMW, not voluntarily. We repoed that thing, it's pretty nice. Filed bankruptcy, that sucked. My family wasn't very happy. My wife, the whole deal, and now look where you are.
6-month-old baby, when we brought my wife home, best business ever.
Look at that. Give him a hand. Nice job, man.